What's up, everybody? Lawler here, and welcome back to another video. We've got part 3 of 20 clips that defined Rocket League esports in 2020 about to get underway. But before we get into that, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, all that kind of fun stuff. It is officially 2021. We are trying to hit major goals here for this year. So hopefully sharing this, kind of telling all your friends about it, will help us get to those goals. So again, appreciate all the love and support. But with that said, let's get into the video. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the videos and the content. Also, shout outs again, as always, to Liquipedia for kind of making this a thing. It's always interesting to see what other people's takes are on really refreshing and exciting content, as well as like what they consider to be the top goals. We've got a couple more videos coming out and a little bit of a teaser, sitting down and doing some interviews with people like Sunless Khan and John Sandman and Mertzy and some of the other big dogs. So stay tuned for that as well on this channel. But with all that out of the way, we've got clip number 11 all the way to 15 before we wrap up our final 5 in a couple days. So let's start off right off the back with clip number 11. We got Team BDS's Monkey Moon outplays all 3 Renault Vitality members, commanding BDS to win the EU Fall Major. Let's take a look.
BDS will slowly look to
good 50 by Mark.
As long as that one booming clear cannot happen for
Fakes
Renault
the
Vitality.
first challenge, goes low,
Wow.
and then perfectly top left. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, that's so pretty.
They waited, and then Monkey Moon strikes.
Oh, K-Dog just did not get any touch on the ball.
So the crazy thing about this, and I'm going to mute it as it continues to play. The crazy thing about this was everybody knew Vitality was really good. Like, we knew that, okay, Scrub is now gone. We aren't sure how Alpha and the full French team is going to perform. Oh, okay, they performed that well. Got it. So there was the expectation for so long that Vitality was just going to be absolutely dominant in Europe. And no one had the expectation other than a couple of us. Like, I remember very early on for Team BDS, watching them in the promotion relegation tournament. I'm like, this team is the most RLCS-esque looking team that I've seen in a very long time come out. And then they made a roster change and they brought in Extra, a player whose offense was absolutely dominant for AS Monaco. But they desperately lack defense and just seemingly fits into the roster, and they look as good as they do. For them to now finish out on the top, this kind of solidified and was the start of, all right, BDS is the team right now. Like, no longer is Vitality the best team in Europe. And that was something that took so long to transition out of, and something that like a team like Dignitas had been trying to do for so long, and it looked like they finally did until their roster stuff started going down. So this was kind of like a monumental shift and was showcasing like, this is going to be RLCSX. This is us solidifying like, hey, this is a different season. It's a different format. Anything can truly happen. So yeah, this one was a big one, and this is kind of one of those memorable, like, yeah, Monkey Moon's pretty cracked. He's pretty nuts. On to clip number 12. We've got Turbo Pulse, Atomic, and Mist of Envy perform a perfect fake kickoff play. Oh god, this play was insane. Okay, so to provide context, this is the grand finals for the NA Regional 1. Envy has been down in this series twice by 3 goals. They have gotten scored on, Energy has put up a ton of goals, and they're down by 3, and we're like, dude, there's only like 2 minutes left. There's no way Envy comes back from this. And with ice in their veins, they do it. And more importantly, the way they do it in this one, there's 11 seconds left. It's just off of a goal that they just scored to bring it back within 1, and we're like, still, there's only 11 seconds. And then they execute perfect Rocket League. Fake kickoff, perfect pass to Atomic, plays it back inside, and then a beautiful shot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What is this game? What is this series? Atomic and Turbo? Is it? Do they have some
you can
kind of
hear it in James.
Link? They're working
James Bond is like so baffled by everything that goes down.
Squishy and easy.
Like, just, you want to see a fake kickoff. Atomic baits it perfectly, doesn't make a mistake on a touch. A pass inside draws out not only one defender, but makes it almost impossible for that goalie in net. Like, you can see it from this view, just how well executed it is. And like, Turbo's shot is pretty much on the middle of the net. If he places it, it's even better. But man, that series, if you guys haven't watched the series, the grand final for the NA Winter Regional 1, Probably one of the best series I've ever watched. Such a good series. Man, I don't know how they're going to top this. This is now clip number 13. It is Team Vitality's Fairy Peak. Be careful against Ocalid. Okay, this is pretty sick. It is in a mentality shift in this one. It is Fairy Peak versus Ocalid, who is absolutely cracked at ones. Bounce dribbles galore against Fairy Peak, a person who is kind of shied away from the whole ones thing. But Fairy Peak is, to me, the ultimate version of high percentage play. He goes for what is the most successful option in his decisions. He will always pick what is the most optimal route. Not just can he do the crazy mechanical things, but he's super efficient. And right now, there's 30 seconds left in a 1v1 that is pretty much eternity, because all it takes is a kickoff goal in a couple seconds, and you're back within one. But he's down by 2. More importantly, it is match point. Like, it is 3-1 in a best of 7. Ocalid is pretty much dominant at this point. He's had everything to answer. And then before everything goes down, this happens.
That was the last time we saw Fairy score directly off a kickoff, but it's not going to be this time around. Takes to the air this time. Fairy going to reach very deep in that bag of tricks. Reese
Oh! And who said...
So he not only scores that, after being super efficient and playing smart, hasn't been able to get kickoff goals, he hits an air dribble with a flip reset. And then in chat, types, be careful.
Fairy Peak doesn't have the fancy mechanics. He just never has to use them. Khaled may have just unlocked Fairy's strap card. Be careful, he says in the quick chat. Not even quick chat, he's typing all this out. Fairy's hilarious. 6-5. And Khaled, hang on.
This is a long clip, but I'm going to watch this whole thing because it's awesome.
He's been going to the Taz school of using chat. Now needs one more. Tries to set himself up. He's got 4 boosts.
Takes his time.
Make it work.
54th.
Challenge.
Oh,
So dumb.
Goodness. Fairy Peak refuses
Dumb.
to lose.
So dumb.
After such a beautiful goal before it, we've gone in the complete opposite
I know
direction
he
with
wins,
a double
spoilers,
50-50.
but I
Don't get
forget
any uglier than
what
that, but
happens
they both
exactly.
count. Tie game. Fairy's not done.
Fairy with 4 boosts did not have many options, so he chose his strongest one, and that was just brute power. Wants to win
No
it
way.
in regulation.
No way! What?
Hit someone with the be careful, right?
Fairy Peak.
He warned him.
Looks like he's
said
going
be
right.
careful.
Changes direction, goes left.
Khaled wasn't
What do you do?
careful.
Like, what do you do?
That's one of the most legendary things I've seen in this.
Jesus. I wonder if he went on. Did he win that series? I don't remember. I got to look it up. I don't know if he won that series in the end. I think Khaled closed it out, but I could be wrong. He did. That's right. He did win it in the end. So the craziest thing about that. So game 1 was Ocalid 9-4. Game 2 was 7-5 Fairy Peak. And then Ocalid wins 10-5 and 8-2. Fairy Peak then scores 3 in a row, as you just saw, to win 7-6. The next game he wins 6-4. And the game after that, he wins 6-5 in OT. So he went from being down and almost out to winning 3 in a row and closing out the series and winning the 1v1 tournament for his team. Unreal. Fairy Peak's a freak. He's so good. Up next, clip number 14. But before we get into that, obviously, shout outs to Lucas and the guys over at Liquipedia for putting these together. These clips have been absolutely phenomenal. Clip 14 is going to be Pioneers Beast Mode pops off with an astonishing backboard read to finish off the upset against Space Station Gaming in Fall Regional 2. This one's pretty crazy because for those that don't know, obviously Kansas City Pioneers was a team that was trending in a really, really good direction. And a lot of the reason why was for 2 reasons. Number 1, Memory, super underrated player. One of the most underrated players, I think, in North America. I think the same could be said about Casio in Europe. But what Memory does on offense, defense, all in all, was allowing this team to basically have success, period. It also enabled their young gun in beast mode, 15-year-old kid right off the block, like fresh into the RLCS, having to go up against a lot of really talented rosters. And he's able to do stuff like this. So this clip's going to go by pretty quick.
Best game of the series. I think Space Station overall haven't looked as weak in this last game. It doesn't matter though when you're defending shots.
Stay clear and wait for it. Wait for it.
Is very rapid. My goodness, that went far.
I dream of the days I can hit that.
This is outrageous.
He's already downfield and he pre-jumps it and just reads the backboard touch. Like, you can't defend that. It's impossible. It is impossible to read that unless you are also already pre-jumping it. Like, beast mode is up in the air before that ball is even probably at half field and manages to read it perfectly and get across it to play it. Like, it's just... Sometimes you just watch a play and you're like, I am lucky to be enjoying Rocket League and be a fan of Rocket League. and actually knows and like fully grasp the concept of what goes into a goal like that. Insane, man. Insane. A lot of people, like you're even seeing in the comments, that's how they became a KCP fan. You see shots like that, beast mode. A lot of talent in his future. And the last, oh god, this is actually mine. The last clip comes from, for clip number 15 for this video, CJ gets caught right in the script of Lawler TV's Brawl 10K Grand Finals. So for those that don't know or have not seen, I used to run a series called The Brawl. We got a $10,000 prize pool, and we're in partnership with Psyonix as well as ESPN Esports before they shut down. F in the chat for them. But what ended up happening was the first time we got to see Turbo Pulsa compete on his new team. Ghost Gaming recently dropped their roster. They were trying to find a new team. Redos ended up going to Space Station. We then ended up getting and seeing Turbo Pulsa leave Energy and going to Envy, as Envy also picked them up. Not only that, but we also had Envy versus Turbo Pulsa and his old team in Energy. So we had Turbo Pulsa going up against his old team in the grand finals. So before this happened, I told production to take a little bit of extra time on the break just to give people kind of a chance to get a breather before the grand finals. And I'm talking to CJ. I'm like, yo, we should do like a little bit of a skit or something. You want to pretend to be like writing the script when we come back or something? He's like, yeah, that'll be great. So none of this is planned. This is all ad lib. This is all, you know, as candid as it gets. The only thing we know is I'm like, hey man, we should pretend to be like writing the script and discussing the script and like come back shocked, you know? And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I can't make it go too long just because we want to get back into the action. We just had an extended break. So let's get into it. So you've got Turbo Pulsa versus old team in the grand finals. We've got all this stuff actually happening. Let's see how it goes. And then we say this.
It's obviously going to OT. Who do you have OT? Like what is your script?
No, I got Envy because Turbo and OT. Remember?
That's right. Oh yeah. He's gonna score the overtime.
Yeah.
I know that this is Rocket League, obviously, because against his old team. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hey guys.
I love CJ.
On a serious note, what is happening? Not planned. As much as I would. It's obviously going to OT. Who do you have OT? Like what is your script?
No, I got Envy because Turbo and OT. Remember?
That's right. Oh yeah. He's gonna score the overtime.
Yeah.
I know that this is Rocket League, obviously, because against his old team.
Shout out to the old department.
Oh, hey guys. On a serious note,
I miss that boy. I miss the Renegades crew. I really miss them. But the craziest part is, like, obviously we're memeing, we're joking, we're talking about what's the best possible storyline, what's the most ridiculous storyline. Oh yeah, they'll go to 7. They'll play an OT and, you know, Turbo and them will win it, even though Ghost has evaded wins their entire time. And of course, it goes to game 7. And of course, they win it. Doesn't go to OT, but they still win in 7. It was picture perfect. And that's, I think, the best way to wrap up this video. I think Rocket League esports in 2020 has been essentially what it feels like picture perfect. There's been so many moments of where, like, it can't get better. We can't have a more entertaining series than the one that just happened. And it just keeps finding a way to level itself up and go as the self-touted most exciting esport. And it kind of lives up to that. I think Rocket League is a very special thing, not just for the accessibility and all the stuff that goes into it, but just ultimately, like, it finds a way to one-up itself every single time. So really excited, obviously privileged, and say thank you obviously to the guys for including and thinking that this was one of the big moments and having me as a part of this. So shout outs to the guys again at Liquipedia. But it's getting me really excited to see what the last 5 are. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, let me know in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up, as well as making sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, all that kind of fun stuff. But we've got one part left. That'll be coming in a couple days here, where we're going to see the last 5 clips, 16 through 20. So with that said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.